right. Hello, everybody. Coming up, people around the world are remembering Pope Francis. How many paid their respects today? Plus, hear the special mission of a new unit with the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office. And remains found on New York's Long Island have been identified. Hear their connection to the Gulf Coast. We have those stories and more coming up. It's time for News 5 Now.
Brought to you by Green and Phillips, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
What's up, Internet family? Thanks for joining us for News 5 Now. I'm Akivia McFarland, and it's so good to be with you here today. Every day we get together at 5:30 and we talk about the big stories that we're following for you. We get your answers to our question of the day, and we check out how you voted in our Facebook poll as well. It's always a good time to get together and have this chat, but let's go ahead and get things started with the big stories that we are following for you right now, as always, beginning with number 5. Thousands of people are paying their respects following the death of Pope Francis. People in Rome lined up for hours for a chance to say goodbye to the late pontiff. Pope Francis's body was moved this morning from his former residence. His body will lie in state inside the basilica until Friday. His funeral is set for Saturday morning. Number 4, people in Lucedale, Mississippi approved the sale of hard liquor. Until now, only beer and wine could be bought in the city. Last night's vote was 218 to 97. However, before liquor can be sold in Lucedale, a few additional steps must be taken. First, the state will need to certify the results according to the Lucedale city clerk. City officials will then need to pass an ordinance, which is expected to happen in May. According to the city clerk, the third step is that the ordinance must be published in the newspaper for 3 weeks. So some changes could be coming to Lucedale. Number 3, a new group of deputies have been added to the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office with a special mission in mind. The Rural Enforcement Unit specializes in agriculture crimes. It's modeled after a similar unit at the Mobile County Sheriff's Office. Deputies have specialized training and equipment to investigate vandalized fields and irrigation systems, stolen property and equipment, and a number of other crimes that largely go unnoticed by the general public. Number 2, a local activist says the community needs to step up to help solve a murder. A woman was shot and killed at Mobile's Sage Park last week. John Young with Men United Against Violence says the only way to get justice for Thursday's shooting is for people to come forward to police. Young says law enforcement and local government cannot solve this on their own. And number 1, remains found on New York's Long Island have been identified as a Mobile native and her daughter decades after they were recovered. Officials identified the mother as Tanya Jackson, previously nicknamed Peaches by investigators after a tattoo on her body. She was a U.S. Army veteran who was 26 at the time of her death. Jackson's 2-year-old daughter was identified as Tatiana Dykes. Some of the Jackson's remains were discovered in 1997. More remains, along with the skeletal remains of the child, were found in 2011. Officials say that Jackson and Dykes were identified through DNA evidence found at the scene and advanced genetic and genealogy research. So there you go. Those are the big stories that we are following for you at this hour. And now it's time for us to go ahead and get into, you know what's coming, our question of the day. And our question is, how are you celebrating Earth Day? And it's a pretty beautiful day out there. I was hanging out there earlier today for a shoot, and it was very warm. There were some nice breezes that came through here and there. So it was a nice day to be out, and I hope you've been enjoying it as well. So let's go ahead and get into your answers to see how all of you are celebrating Earth Day. See what a few of you have to say. Ooh, all right. So someone says, watching the launch with Katy Perry for the 1 millionth time. OMG, yay. No, seriously, I'm having a nice cool drink. All right, Dustin, we hear you. All right, we have Linda Henderson planting flowers with my granddaughter. It's a nice way to give back during Earth Day. And let's see, let's go on further. Let's see, Kurt Danner says, I turned on the AC to 66 and turned on all the lights. Might take a 2-hour shower later on, too. So that's what he had to say. AC at 66? You're really trying to stay cool, my friend. My goodness. All right, keep it moving. Oh, Timothy, Joseph Bullock has something funny to say, and if you'd like to read that, you can go to these comments. I feel kind of silly saying that out loud, so I won't do it. All right, let's keep on going. Tony Lewis says, remembering when people actually took recycling seriously. Okay. Colleen Crew Jones says, I mowed the grass. Sounds pretty appropriate for Earth Day. Right? Someone says packing to move. That's Mary Watkins. Where are you moving to, Mary? I hope you're not leaving the Gulf Coast. I'm not going to make you put your business out there, but I hope you're not leaving the Gulf Coast. Of course, we love you here. All right. We have Chan Garrison saying cutting down some trees. More jokes here in the comments. Not going to read that one either. You got some jokes today, y'all. Let's see. Tina Brooks Jenkins said, I planted my tomato plants. Very nice. And I have more grass cutters here. Someone says they worked 13 hours today. Mike Bailey says eating cows and pigs, but I'm only one man. Okay, we still have to eat, I guess, don't you? Alrighty then. Well, thank you all for telling us how you got your Earth Day celebrations in. And now we're going to go ahead and switch gears so we can talk about that Facebook poll and see how you voted in that one too. So here's what we wanted to know. Would you prefer to have a rest break during the workday? As you can see, a resounding 91% of you said, yes, I would prefer to have a rest break during the workday. And a very small percentage of you said, no. Now, I guess I have mixed feelings about this question. Sure, a rest break would be nice, but would it be in addition to a lunch break? Because, many of us have so much work to do, and it just seems like often there's just not enough hours in the day to get what we need done with the, addition of a lunch break, with already having that. So if you add a rest break, it's just like, isn't it going to make it a little bit harder to get the job done? But if your job compensates for it, that's fine. But I feel like I'd rather just go ahead and get the job done and go rest at home, rest in my bed. It's so comfy, Just don't you want to get in your bed with your pillows and your blanket, That's where you want to get your best rest. So I'd rather go ahead and just give me my 1 hour lunch. I'll do the work. And I'll go home and get all the rest I want. So that's just my opinion. But thank you all so much for sharing your thoughts on our Facebook poll. But now it's time to send you off with some homework, as I tend to do. We've got to get you over to our Facebook page, and we need you to give our page a thumbs up. Go ahead and give it a big old like if you have not done so already. And if you have not done so already, what have you been waiting on? Come on. Got to give our WKRG digital team some love. And also, go ahead and answer our next question of the day, too. What do you do to relax? I'm sure the answers to that will be very interesting. I'm sure some of the jokes I saw on today's question of the day might be how some of you relax, but I'm not going to make any assumptions. We will see that come later. But also, we want you to go ahead and vote in that next Facebook poll as well. Are you an early bird or a night owl? There you go. So keep those questions in mind. We'll be right back here tomorrow to get those answers. So make sure you're answering tonight, answer tomorrow morning, and we'll be right back here to get those answers for you. But in the meantime, it is time for you to get ready for WKRG News 5 at 6. We're a little less than 20 minutes out. Go ahead and turn your TVs on to WKRG. That way you're in the right spot, and that way you can get caught up on your local news and your weather, your sports from our wonderful team here at WKRG. You do not want to miss what they have in store for you. So as always, thank you so much for joining us for WKRG News 5 Now. It's been a blast, and we'll catch you next time.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips.